40th,
Hello and welcome to TV Burp. Woman turned on by mild swearing on Sharp's peril.
You'll do as you're damn well told, Reverend.
Invisible man on Merlin. Chase me, chase me. Ooh. And Val and Diane tried to read very small script on Emmerdale.
I had a great night last night. Drunk in the pub after protesting at the church. Oh, speaking of which, Terry and Brenda are definitely forming a relationship.
I must say, I'm a big cricket fan, and so I was thrilled to see Darren Gough pop up on TV this week. Darren, of course, one of the most respected and admired cricketers of his generation. What a role model for our youngsters.
Bring on the wall!
It looked to me like Tom Chambers had been watching too much Hole in the Wall before Strictly Come Dancing last Saturday.
Started very confident today, and then all of a sudden...
Bring on the wall! Yes, it is tiring. All that dancing, you've got to grab your sleep where you can. Hasn't Autumn Watch been riveting this season, though, eh? I say, bring back Spring Watch. Last week, we were treated to a colony of seals up on Farne Island. It seemed to me that one or two of them had been drinking too much fizzy pop and got a bit gassy.
Big Bruiser's going to come down from there and give you a good hiding.
Oh, wait a minute. That's not fizzy pop. That's Nando's. It was comforting to hear that Autumn Watch had set up a helpline for any birds with problems that were in trouble.
Well, that's an encouraging start. The grapevine, as it were, has failed to come up with anything, but we have the modern technology. I can use my mobile phone and ring up Birdline.
Birdline, yeah. Oh. Hello? You're a sparrow, yes. Oh, you're being picked on by a pigeon. Well, next time he tries anything, just peck him in the eye. All right. Yeah. You should try Birdline. Yeah. No, this is TV Burp. Sorry, I can't tell you what the fight is this week, no. Well, there's no need for that. No wonder that pigeon's picking on him. Hello? Charming. The BBC, meanwhile, have launched Oceans, in which we learn all about the fishes. And new frontwoman Tuni Marto was in a rather saucy mood.
Oceanographer Tuni has brought the team west to the Bay of Conception.
Well, you do get lonely at sea. Or even at home. Show had conservation at the top of its agenda.
In this sea, hammerhead numbers have been dramatically reduced. Some estimates suggest only 10% are left.
It's the demand for shark fin soup. And it's barely credible, I think. From someone from England, you think, well, shark fin soup. But that's what's happened. I mean, shark fin soup's supposed to have some fantastic properties. But it's not worth decimating the whole species for, is it?
Well, it is nice. Get back in the bowl! Get back in that bowl! Could have done with a bit longer in the microwave. Ever wondered what Nigella Lawson would be like if she was Indian?
When I think of the flavours of Kerala, I think of coconut, curry leaves and fruity flavours like mangoes and bananas.
You got enough lipstick on, love? This was Anjum Anand with a new show, BBC Two's Indian Food Made Easy. This week they were concentrating on food from a particular region of India. So, where can I get the sort of ingredients you need to cook the Kerala way?
I'm going to see what's available locally. Sourcing Kerala food in Liverpool is actually easier than you might think.
Liverpool? Not much use to me, is it? I thought this was Indian food made easy. Now you're telling me I've got to get a train to Liverpool. The train fare's about £100, overnight stay at the Adelphi. You can get a good chicken tikka around the corner from me for £4. Spend more than 12, you get free poppadoms. Big up to all the guys at the FK1 Balti Express. See, I preferred it when they used to put the recipe up on the screen for you to copy. They don't seem to do that anymore. It makes it much harder to get it down. But I'm so keen on cooking Carolyn that I'll try.
She's adding 4 full tablespoons of pickle powder.
Pickle powder? Yes.
This is something you can buy from local Indian stores, but Bina always makes her own, from powdered turmeric, chili, asafoetida.
Let's just get on to the bit where they serve it then. See if it looks tasty.
It's an amazing colour. Yeah. It is gorgeous.
Once that's mixed, Bina is adding cubes of deep-fried kingfish...
and a paper towel. Bit dry. Casualty now, which of course is on the BBC. Why then, during the show, did they show one of those Channel 4 idents? You know, where the 4 of Channel 4 gradually appears. You're watching Channel 4. Of course not. It was a car crash. Young Toby seemed to be enjoying his work anyway.
He's arrested.
OK, chest compressions, rate of 100.
OK. And Nelly the elephant.
Most of us stop that second year of medical school.
Yeah, this was his way of getting the rhythm right. 100 beats per minute. Now, I had to do that once, but I couldn't quite remember. I knew it was a song with animals in. Unfortunately, I went for Old MacDonald Had a Farm. Old MacDonald had a farm. On that farm, he had the cow. With a here, there. Which is why I had to give it up. Little Simon Barlow seemed a little quiet this week on Coronation Street.
What's that about, then, the twits, eh? Do you want me to give you a hand with this jigsaw? I don't really know what to say, do you?
Yeah, his dad Peter soon found out the reason. He's got a switch on the back of his head. And no one had bothered to turn it on.
He wants to ask you a question. What, mate?
I was surprised to see a sausage being used as a microphone on Corrie this week.
Can I just say congratulations on your miracle recovery? Well done.
For your information, it's good days and bad days.
Would you inform the benefits office the happy news?
Young David Platt got himself into a bit of a scrape. He really upset a local man who came straight after him. Well, he was so angry with David, he made that noise that northerners make when they're really angry. Yes, look out, David. David's fallen under the spell of his old cellmate, Graham, who he was very pleased to see. They had their own fun greeting, but it went on a bit for my liking.
Hey, how's my boy?
Just grow up, you... To coincide with Remembrance Day, there were a number of shows about war. TV shows and films. In My Family at War, Sonia from EastEnders went back to look at her ancestors and find out what they were doing in World War I, where she chanced upon an unexploded loaf of bread.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's still dangerous.
Oh, is this still dangerous now? That could still blow up?
Yep.
And how many do you find?
Oh, it's on a daily basis.
On a daily basis, how many would you
We
say
collect
roughly?
300 tons each year.
Yes, it's a big problem, unexploded bread. Bread, lovely. Don't worry, it's been diffused. Yeah, they collect 300 tons of unexploded bread every year. Ooh, I fancy a slice of that. Crumbs. Time Team were right behind them, of course, with a World War I special. And the big news was they actually found something.
We've got a German bullet, tantalisingly coming from the bottom of the stairs in the dugout. Been fired, this one.
Who'd have thought it? Digging in a First World War trench and they found a bullet. I'm not sure that Tony and the team were entirely sure who'd been fighting in World War I.
British engineers eventually developed a device called a geophone, which was so sensitive it could detect burrowing earthworms.
Worms? I thought it was the Germans.
Once they'd located a target, the tunnellers packed the area with explosive.
That's not very nice, blowing up worms, is it? You'd kill a lot of German worms, yeah, but you'd also kill a lot of innocent French worms, too. Which is better, the German worms or the French worms? There's really only one way to find out. See you after the break. Come on, Germany! Welcome back to TV Burp. Hugh Fernley-Whittingstall shows us his killer finger on River Cottage. Blanche admits she's a vampire on Corrie.
I cannot ignore the pull of blood.
And nasty injury at the Rosemary Schrager rap party.
The cocktail sticker's broken in one of my breasts and I can't get it out.
Yes, it's Rosemary Schrager's School for Cooks. So, what we learning this week, Rosie?
To joint a poussin efficiently, you should end up with 8 equal portions. Each leg will produce 2.
So I've got a drumstick and a thigh.
And the crown can be divided into 4 more.
I'm going to cut through like that. So we have got precisely
8 pieces of chicken.
8 pieces of chicken. OK, do you understand what I've just done there?
Yes, you just cut a chicken up into 8 pieces. But it gets more exciting than that, yeah. And with the pressure comes mistakes.
She's tackling the recipe very calmly, as if she's got all the time in the world.
Yeah, all I've got separated, right.
But Jill has spotted that she's made a big mistake.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You've got to do that bit yet. You're only up to here, yes?
Yeah.
She hasn't got lots of time. She just hadn't realised that the recipe goes on to the next page.
I didn't realise the recipe goes over the page. She hasn't got a very inquiring mind, does she? Now, be fair, I've done it myself, yeah. Just today I made a shepherd's pie. Yeah, and, And for pudding, I made a lovely lemon meringue pie. Yeah, so I didn't realise the recipe continued over the page. Oh, the pressure, though, in Rosemary Schrager's kitchen.
The other dessert cook, Heidi, had the toughest day. Rattled by an early mistake...
You've got a great big crack in it.
Yeah.
All right, sort it out.
She buckled under the pressure.
The tiny crack in the pastry base was the straw that broke the camel's back. For me, it was an instant whip that just wouldn't set. But don't forget, many of them have had no experience of working in any kitchen other than their own, like Mum of 2, Kathy.
Her opponent on the green team is Mum of 2, Kathy, who was told off yesterday for using her fingers too much. So she's going to make sure she doesn't make that mistake again.
Yeah, using her fingers too much. I'm the same, yeah. Actually, I might just have another go at that instant whip. Yeah. still won't set. Yeah, what's Robert Llewellyn been up to since Red Dwarf finished?
Supplying a city like London with fresh, clean drinking water is a massive engineering challenge.
It looks a lot easier than it actually is.
So how do they supply 8 million Londoners with water?
Taps! Yeah, taps. Turn it on, it comes out. Yeah, pretty good system. And often you've got a choice of hot or cold. Yeah. What else?
Consider the wind turbine.
You consider the wind turbine. What's that to do? See, in the wrong hands, this sort of stuff might be a bit dry. Might be tempted to turn over in the ad break, but Robert's clever, the way he dangles a carrot to keep you tuned in.
Join me after the break when I'll be continuing my H2 odyssey by venturing deep into the bowels of London's underworld and meeting a massive mechanical mole that helps fill your bath.
Sounds good to me. What else is coming up?
Still to come. We're skating on thin ice when we enter the weird world of the ice resurfacing machine.
If you thought the worldwide recession was a worry, I'm afraid there's more bad news.
Today's the day. It's official. Shirley Carter is back on the pool.
Lock up your granddads! Yes, it's EastEnders, and Max is still on life support, having been knocked down by his wife. Still, they all said a nice little prayer. I liked Abby's, wasn't sure about Lauren's.
Dear God, please, please say he doesn't die, because he's the best dad in the whole world and he didn't deserve this.
That's lovely. Lauren, do you want to say a little prayer for your father?
What's the point? It's all so fake. None of you even like my dad.
Amen. Little Abby prepared a special message for her dad so he could hear her talking.
How'd you get here? Is Jack with you?
No, it's a free period.
Oh.
And I got the bus in. I just wanted to see him. I brought him flowers and I made him a tape saying that I love him so he can listen to it when I'm not there. What? What is it? What's wrong?
Well, a bit of an old format, isn't it? Cassette tapes. What's he going to play on? His Binary Turn tape deck? Yeah, I've got a tape, actually, for him. Yeah, some of the best bits of TV Burp. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, he shouldn't have a problem playing that, should he? Oh, what's this? Oh, looks like some sort of toffee bonbon.
Whether Titus was more of a hunk than beats me is serious science. But the only way to know who is fathering which babies is a paternity test.
Not a toffee bonbon. That was quite nice. Not bad at all. Save the rest for later. This was Natural World Titus, the Gorilla King, which told the story of a group of gorillas in the Virunga Mountains of Rwanda and the dominant male, Titus. I was surprised to see Blanche from Corrie turn up, supping a little milk from a teat.
At the time, I was reading a book.
Well, she certainly gets around. A lot of the time, Titus seemed happy just to be rolling around in the open.
The group has split.
He rolls down the hill, but he keeps going.
See you in a bit, Darryl.
Chris with his phone in on family smells.
And Denise talks to the man who wants to eat his like fish.
Happy birthday to Zoe and Chloe Humphreys.
I'm going to ask you a series of questions worth a maximum of 4 points. The further I read into the question...
And so what I'm going to tell you the neighbours what has happened. And...
You just want to let it go. Which brings us to our occasional item, the many faces of Louis Walsh. Number 2, Joy.
The many faces of Louis Walsh.
The second act, definitely coming back on next week's show, is... JLS.
Of course, the star of the show was Mariah Carey singing that Jim Will Fix It song. Oh, how does it go again? Jim will fix it for you. Big it up, Mariah. Though it was quite an emotional thing for the contestants to sing in front of her, especially for Alexandra.
Well, I cried like 6 times meeting her, as you all probably knew. The moment I saw her foot come down the stairs, I was in tears.
It must have been very emotional seeing Mariah's foot coming down those stairs. So emotional. Ladies and gentlemen, to sing us out, Mariah Carey's foot.
Well, I can't forget the feeling, all your faces you leave, but I guess that's just the way the story goes. I can't live without you. I can't live.
That's all from us. See you next week.
Well, don't get too emotional, but you can have Harry at home with you anytime, as his TV Burp Gold DVD is available now in store and online. Over on ITV3 now, a blizzard, an isolated hotel and a Ouija board predict trouble for Agatha Christie's Marple. And here next is a best of British belter of a show with more of Louis' faces. It's the X Factor live here on ITV1.